before Beyond? Probably restricted, really nice and caring, but very restrictive in their way of life. Well, definitely don't think it's as restrictive as I thought. I think everything I thought and I knew was very, you can't do this, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. And I think it's just, it's all more about, it's giving and it's love and it's acceptance, and it's not about what you can't do, it's about what you can do for everyone. I've got like a stock standard answer for this, and it's people falling to the floor and having convulsions.
Like during a service?
For the Holy Spirit causing convulsions on the floor.
How does that make you feel in that moment?
Very weird and uncomfortable, and sort of like, do they need medical intervention? Like, I don't know if I should be going down and like helping them, or if it's just the Holy Spirit. And they're always fine, but that was weird. I think on a whole, people have this idea of Christians, and they're lovely people and they help in that, but then you have I guess these people that take very small snippets of the Bible and Christianity and then just blow it completely out of proportion, and they fixate on that one thing, and it ends up being quite negative. So I feel like people have this idea that, this is what, Christians and Jesus followers should be like, but then I'm seeing these people that are behaving this way, but they're also Christians. And then, I guess I think, well, I don't want to be like that, so I can't believe in Jesus. Yeah, I feel like people have an idea of what it should be, and then they see these people that are just taking it to the other end. Yeah.
No, I like that.
For a start, I'd probably say Riley with Starting Point. That was a really, really good introduction for me. Clarissa, Connect team leader, she's been absolutely amazing with sort of guiding me, and the weekly sessions that we have, that's been so good. And obviously my husband Mitch has been amazing. I was sort of like at the very, very beginning, talking about church and that, and I'd been to other churches and I hadn't found something that resonated with me. And then, I was told, hey, Beyond might be your speed as like a sort of a less intense, introduction. And he was like, I'll go with you. So the fact that he's been so supportive, and now he's just as involved, and we have this little community and friends, and so I feel like those three people are like my main,
I love it.
Well, Beyond's doing a great job of that to begin with. I feel like making especially sermons relatable to everyone, and not, which is what I feel like Beyond does really well, is not making it so specific to church people that if you're not a churchgoer, which I was pretty much for a long, long time, that you're sitting there, it's like, I have no idea what he's saying, I can't apply this to my life. I feel like Beyond, during the sermon, it's like, even if you're not a Jesus follower, here's how this little message can improve your life. And it is a message of just how to make your life better and how to make other people's lives better. And it does focus on Jesus and the Bible, but I think just making it relatable to everyone, and everyone can take a little bit away from it. And then in that, maybe it leads them to Jesus, maybe it doesn't, but making it really relatable and understandable, easy to understand for everyone. If they haven't read the Bible before, it's like,
Here you go. I like it. It's a great answer.
Love and acceptance. I feel like it should be the fundamental for everyone's life. It's just, accept everyone for who they are and what they believe. Don't try and change anyone. And love and just kindness. Just being kind to everyone. No hate, I feel like that's the fundamental, and I feel like that gets lost so much with, like I said before, these other people that are taking it so far out of context. It's like, just be kind to everyone and love them and accept them, and yeah, just no. My background was like once a week RE at primary school. I didn't go to a Christian primary school or high school. Once a week a lady would come in and we'd do a little activity that had something to do with Jesus, and that was it. That was the extent of the church going. Never went to church, never had friends that went to church, completely just not even a part of my life growing up. Probably not as like primary school, as sort of going into high school, you'd have, you know, one or two people, again, it wasn't a Christian high school, so one or two people that maybe went to church. And yeah, I remember this one girl who was there, and it was like she'd come from another country, because she came in, and I just remember everyone was asking her questions like, oh, can you swear? Do you do this? Do you do that? Or what? You can't do this. And it was like she was from a different country, this like way of life. It was just completely foreign to everyone. And yeah, like I said, the thought of it was, okay, these people, they go to church every Sunday and they have a lot of rules. They have a lot of rules of what they can and can't do in order to be a Christian and go to church on Sunday, and that's what they do. Yeah, but never, I was always curious about it, Christianity and faith, and I would Google things, and I think we had a Bible in the house, and you know, I just read certain things, but it was sort of like, it was never anywhere else in my life. So it was sort of like, if I wanted to look at something or Google something, I would, but then there was nothing else surrounding me that would sort of push it or influence it, really until I met Mitch.
So is that the time when you met Mitch that you began to engage with your faith?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously his family, he's a Grace kid, went to Lutheran school, they all went to church as a kid, so I sort of had this interest, and then his family was sort of in that sort of culture of things, so I was able to ask questions, and then we started going to church and things started just flowing. But he was definitely like the catalyst for everything, I would say. Sort of has sparked that interest, and then him and his family and everyone in the extended family. Yeah, I don't know, we started just having more conversations about faith, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'd really want to try and find a church. And I went to churches on my own and nothing sort of fit. And then, yeah, I just definitely think what's made it all a lot stronger is him being like doing Starting Point and doing Connect with him, and then him going to church as well. So it's just like everything coming together has just sort of really like pushed me to, yeah, be more involved. And yeah, I think Starting Point was a really big step. You know, not a big commitment once a week, but it's a very small group and very intimate, and you know, a little bit vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there and talking to people about your faith that you don't really know, and I don't really know what I believe, and this was all very new. And I think going from there, that was a big step, and then, but it really sort of prepared me for doing like my Connect group and made that so much easier. Yeah, no, I think that, yeah, that was probably the biggest thing, because yeah, like I said, I'd done church group, I'd been to church before and everything, but I think pushing myself and going to a group, very small group, an intimate group, very vulnerable.
Where it's like, hey, that person has questions.
Yes, which I know Riley really loved. As I came in, I just had so many questions.
Yeah.
I tested him.
I love it. Yeah, that's the best part.
So I was all brand new, but very like willing to learn. So I'm like, I have these questions. Like, I want to know what's